I had very big plans for this week. Some things happened, and some didn't quite get finished happening. For example, this planer was supposed to be no longer on this cart, but on another cart instead. I've got some video to show of what I was trying to get finished, and it's fairly close, but there are some details I still need to think through because I'd like to do this well. I was going to say I'd like to do this once and do it right, but actually, I've already done it more than once. And so I want to be more careful than that, even, and try again. But for now, let me say I'm blessed and grateful for a week where I got to work on a project that has been a goal for over a year, longer than the channel has been going, and something that I've hinted at and probably even talked about quite a bit in the past. I don't get to show a whole lot about it yet, but coming up next week, I think we'll get to do the big reveal. Really looking forward to that. In the meantime, please take a look at what I've got here. I hope your vacation week is more glamorous than mine. But getting some workshop projects done that have needed to be done for a long time is at least worth it, even if it's not, real exciting. And there's still a couple things I need to do, but technically, I think mathematically, spatially, we could get Carol's car back in the garage at this point. And I'm happy about the progress that has been made, although really it just has been piling stuff on top of stuff. But it needs to get done. And also, this other thing needs to get done. What's a guy to do when he builds a scrap wood um, mobile storage station and puts dinky baby wheels on it? Well, he thinks about it for a long time, and then eventually he gets some bigger casters and takes some time on his vacation to replace the littles with the bigs. And then the idea behind this, of course, is the planer hopefully is going to go in here with an extra snipe limiting longer outfeed, infeed and outfeed table that I think will be a huge improvement for this, and that is exactly the goal. So let's do that. These are just pretty. I don't think they're Amazon basics that I got, but they're pretty generic kind of caster wheels that I have put on another stand and was very impressed with them. So I got three more sets because pretty much everything I've put on wheels so far, the wheels have been too small, especially for the kind of rough, cracked up and nicked up garage floor that I have here to work with. But more than that, just the weight that needs to be able to move freely. Yeah, these small wheels just can't handle it. So going to tip this thing over. I may put a bottom shelf on this as well, but I'm going to flip this over and get these put on, and they go pretty quick once I get kind of a system going. For the sake of comparison, here's what I've got. Man, these things were already chewed up really, really heavy. But here's what I'm going to replace them with. And this should be a lot better. Now, like I said, I may go ahead and enclose this, so I've got a bottom storage line too. I think I've got something I can put on there pretty easily. And then let's put some new wheels on. Well, the new wheels are on. I think they're solid. Instead of a hole, I couldn't find a piece of plywood that would fit all the way across the bottom. Anyway, I put a little more here. Makes it a little bit more top heavy. I understand. I'm going to have to be careful with what I put up above. Got one screw in here for this cross piece so that potentially some stuff could be underneath or in the sides. And ready to stand it up. Yeah, I think that's going to be much better. It's going to take the dips. You can see all the little chunks out of the concrete. It's going to handle those much better. So this is what I've gotten to at this point. I decided to, instead of just putting the particle board down as the base for the planer, I had some plywood and I decided to practice some inset cuts and mount the plywood so that I could then put an even flatter surface on top of that. Unfortunately, I had two off-sized pieces of plywood to begin with, so luckily, fortunately, blessedly, I found one that matched this this lower width, smaller width, and was able to replace the one that was sitting a little bit high. So I think I can get this nice and flat so that the particle board can be fitted in here in the same way. The planer mounted probably about in the middle here. Then another section of particle board, MDF, something that's solid, steady, completely flat, will be braced and run across this whole thing so that I can run boards through with perhaps zero snipe. And that's one of the big goals. And the big goal for doing this comes down to something else that I did get to work on. That, as I said, should get its big reveal this coming week. But for now, this happened and that happened. Details to follow.